I'm a diehard Chiefs and Cyclones fan, and this former Chiefs defensive tackle was a wrestler. My name's TJ Caldwell. Welcome back to Cyclone Kingdom. The offense is done. Respect the offensive linemen. Too many stats to go into how you actually rank top 5 offensive linemen. So Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, guys like that, we see you. We appreciate you. But we're moving on from the offense and moving on to the defense, to the defensive tackles, the top 5 in Kansas City Chiefs history. One that you will know, like everyone else knows, was a cornerstone of the dynasty. We'll get into him. The other 4, I just learned about this week. Just learned some information about them today. But you need to know their names, just like I need to know their names in the history of the franchise of the Kansas City Chiefs. And to do that, let's go ahead and share my screen so you can see just what highlights their highlights were going into their careers. Number 5 on the list, Dan Salimua. Dan Salimua. He was in the 90s and the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and was, let's just read this because it's impressive what these guys did. I don't give them as much respect as I need to because I wasn't born around that time. I was actually born in 98, right after Dan stopped playing. But we need to know who they are. Some of you that are older Chiefs fans, you know exactly who they are. But this is helpful to know. Salimua was the unsung hero and staple of the dominant Chiefs defense in the early 1990s. In his 8 seasons in Kansas City, he racked up 28 sacks, 17 fumbles, and was a crucial run stuffer who kept linebackers clean. Dan Salimua. I don't know how to say it. If you do know how to say it, if you're a relative of Dan, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Number 4 on the list, Bill Moss. He's one that you have heard of, a Pro Bowler, great guy also in the 80s and the 90s. Let me actually zoom in here so we can see this better. Bill Moss was a crucial part of the Chiefs. Crucial part of the 80s and the 90s Chiefs. Drafted 5th overall. Won the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Incredible 12-sack and fumble recovery start. And a 2-time Pro Bowler. Bill Moss, a guy that you'll see in Chiefs museums. I don't know if he ended up being a Hall of Famer, but was a great, great player for the Kansas City Chiefs in the 80s and the 90s. And someone that deserves respect when we're talking about defensive tackles. Number 3, and the one that we really need to talk about because he was awesome. Curly Culp. Curly Culp. He was a wrestler. An elite wrestling background. And it made him almost impossible to block. So think about playing Curly Culp in the 60s and the 70s and having to go up against him in a big game like Super Bowl IV. Super Bowl IV was incredible. The Chiefs' first Super Bowl at the time until Patrick Mahomes came into the picture, where they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Curly Culp played a role in that. And believe it or not, Curly Culp was also a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So he deserves respect from Chiefs Kingdom. He deserves respect from this channel here at Cyclone Kingdom. And we appreciate all that Curly did. His quick twitch force, played in the middle of the defensive line, and was a great addition to the Chiefs' first Super Bowl team. Number 2 on the list, Buck Buchanan. Buck Buchanan also played in the 60s and 70s. Part of the Super Bowl IV team. And he helped the team win the game. Keep in mind, back in the day, this is all that football was about. It was about being a great run stuffer, being a great, elite defender, and being able to stop the run. Passing wasn't really this huge thing yet. The teams that did it really well, the Cowboys and the Packers, there's a reason why they won so many Super Bowls. But Buck Buchanan was a first overall pick in the 1963 AFL draft. Not even the NFL draft, the AFL draft. And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer as well. 6'7", 270 pounds. Unprecedented size and speed. Playing 166 consecutive games. You already know. You already know exactly who this guy was. Shout out to Buck Buchanan. And number 1 on the list, the guy that we want to spend the rest of our time talking about because he was a cornerstone of the dynasty that's still going on. Chris Jones. Chris Jones, drafted in 2016 out of Mississippi State. And he didn't really start off too hot. Keep in mind, Chris Jones was a rookie out of Mississippi State, had some good upside, had some good potential, but wasn't anyone that really was going to take the league by storm. And then as soon as 2018 hit, in that year where the Chiefs lost to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, where if D Ford was onside, we'd be having a different discussion about how many rings the Chiefs have. I mean, just straight up. If D Ford was onside when Tom Brady threw that game-ending pick, we'd be having a different discussion about Patrick Mahomes' legacy and where he would stand even right now in the GOAT conversation, even though we think he's top 3, top 5, which he is. Chris Jones played a role in the dynasty. He was literally the cornerstone piece on the defense. The defense that Steve Spagnuolo built was built around Chris Jones. Chris Jones made that defense. He helped that defense get to where they are today. He helped the defensive pass rush when there was no pass rush. Chris Jones was the main guy sometimes, guys. He was the main guy that helped get to the quarterback. And what we're hoping in 2026 is the defense does a similar thing, where they're able to free up Chris Jones in a way that he helped free up a lot of other people because he had attention drawn to him. He's an unreal human being. He's been great for the Kansas City community. His personality is elite. He's an awesome personality, an awesome interview. And I just appreciate everything he's done for Chiefs Kingdom. I appreciate that he's come and run it back and that he's, rejected other offers and that he's stayed with the Chiefs and gotten this deal and that deal and been able to be a part of something so special going on in Kansas City. So the dynasty's not over. I think 2.0 is starting up either this year or next year. I would hope this year. We'll see how the wide receiver room pans out. But Chris Jones and the way that he's been able to play, even at a later stage in his career, right? He's an older guy. He's not as nimble as he once was. He's now able to free up an R. Mason Thomas or a Peter Woods or a George Karlaftis, right? And that is what makes him so scary, is that if any of those guys are good, and you hope Peter Woods, you hope R. Mason Thomas are good. We'll do position previews later on this summer. If they're good, you now have to account for them, which frees up Chris Jones, who's a top 5 defensive lineman in the league. So I'm excited for Chris. I'm thankful for what he's done for Kansas City. He obviously is number 1 on this list. One, because there's not many defensive tackles that are really memorable in Chiefs history, but also because of what he's done. He's had close to 90 sacks as a defensive tackle, being able to set up outside, being able to set up in the interior. That's not something that every defensive tackle can do. And so I appreciate him. I appreciate his heart. I appreciate his play style and the way that he just grinds it out. And, the celebrations with him and Andy Reid have been really cool to watch as well after the Super Bowls. I need another Chiefs Super Bowl, man. I would love the feeling again of winning another Super Bowl. We'll see if they can do it in 2026. But Chris Jones is the number 1 defensive tackle in Kansas City Chiefs franchise history. Leave your comments down below about who's too high, who's too low. What do you know about Dan Sulamata'ia or Bill Moss or Curly Culp or Buck Buchanan? What stats do you know about them that nobody else knows? Leave your comments down below. Like and subscribe for all Chiefs and Cyclones content. And as always, roll comes. And how about those Chiefs?